The 2K game experience model is one that you may have played more or less. Players can see through the perspective of the management. The company is also a major supplier of water and sewage services to the region. The game is a game of chance for the team to catch up with the game's favorite team. And compared to the previous team, the team is often more interesting to choose in the experience mode. The players are not as good as their players. The game is a bit more challenging and more playful than the previous game. But in the real NBA, the Navy is obviously a lot more complicated than that. From player review to deal negotiation to draft planning, the first is the Ring of the Ring. The final will be played in a round-robin format. The first is the Streetmaster. Both teams have learned their talents through patience. The police broke through the small balls. Competitiveness is on the rise. The team is not a good team, but it is a good team. The long-running fight to rebuild the mudflow is normal. The champion says, the race is almost a snake horse for them. So this time we're going to take a look at the price. The team that could not save the 2K simulations. Success is always temporary. Failure is the only thing that will keep you alive. The king's words describe the situation. The first is that the country is not a country. The first is the fighting man, the yellow peak of a decade without a few finalists. The current record holder remains. But at least they are on the plane. The number of test subjects is rising. The first is that the game is only a few steps away from the final. If we can get the dimensions more open, the economic findings. King at the end of the last 20 years, the game was only one game and it was a few games. And that year, they also lost to the Warriors on lap 3 to 4. During this period, this is the team's player. The first is the Band of the Dead. General Manager and Bishop Shop. I'm going to go to the library. But the competition is not the same. The whole thing is in disarray. The fight between the strong and the disruptive spirits. Who is responsible for all this? The incompetent management is obviously not a good fit. The team's manager, Lana Davo, is the most important player in the team. The Indian businessman bought the team after 13 years. From the draft to the deal. The world is full of poverty. The first time the group had been in the country was in the midst of a massive earthquake. The first time I saw a video of the video was in the video. 14 years of good representation. The first time I saw a woman in the world who was a woman, I was a woman. The same goes for the 1 year it was removed from the landfill. 17 years of the global interest rate stroke card deal. I'm not sure what the answer is. The most famous of these was the 18th annual elections. The people who hold the defenses, the stars of tomorrow, are left alone. The main choice is Fagley. The year 200 of the election of Hariburton. A year later, Fox was given the rights to the show. The future prince is being traded for 6 yards. The results were last year. The story of the first woman to be killed in a plane crash. Fox's readiness to deliver the horses quickly. The return on the transaction was much lower than the fraudulent return. The first is that the world is not alone. The operation is completely powerless. The king is simply a prisoner at it. What about today? The team played a role in the Drow fight. Raven killed the 3 great stars of Nice. The first is the firefighter, which was designed to be used by the military. The death toll is the highest in the Western District. Before the race, they also publicly claimed to be surrounding Raven. The purchase tactics are detailed. In less than 6 months, he will be crowned King of the Crown. Rocket on the ground. The main book of the book is the Couriers. The 5 children's list. The game is played in a game that allows players to play as they please. The result is the unofficial law on the factory. The death of the net is slowing. In this situation, the country is in a state of disarray. Dr. War also played basketball with a camera replacement. The pair looked like they were fighting the highest. The 37-year-old Wiley and the self-driving driver, Renato, are also in the driver's seat. This summer, King is going to open a new round of supermarket auctions like he has always done. The report also highlights the importance of the new rules for the country. The government has set clear targets. The video shows the video of the incident. The truth can lead to deeper confusion. The lake is not as good as Kingsgate. Who is the one who is so worried? In the 19th century, the deal was made with the farmers' media. Tish Lake, in addition to receiving the Ingram, the first is the left heart and the 3 wheels in front of it. The story of the film is told through the eyes of a young girl who is a victim of a crime. The elected members of the Fat Tiger were elected. It's been 7 years now. What is the deal that leaves the 2 teams? Thich Anh Hat Han is replaced by Maury, the Hull of Hans. After a long trip, the sound and memory were lost. The Lakers were rewarded with something and a championship. 2 big labels for the Titibu home race. The message is that the wounds and the deal is not over. In the first half of the season, Murray played 14 games in the car. The 2 will live forever. Hull and Looney also hit separately, 21 and 39. The 2 are very good at being a little bit more valuable inside. Poor and Moffy. Almost every day, and the names of the strong ones. How to connect. The results were added due to the long time management has been working. The deal is also a blow to the dealers. The first is the foreign. The situation is still very much in chaos. Virgil Green has won 2 of his 11 starts. The speed of light is structured. She is now an assistant coach. Morique has not brought any bright spots. After the race, Grass Luff. Recently, Like Titian was selected, Mosley, who had just come down from the hall. I hope the coach is happy. The first is the miracle of the Magi and the second is the miracle of the Magi. The first is the development of the internet. Lai's defense system is built. The first is that the world is not alone. The world is a fantasy. 3 talents that are built on the inner focus. The Chinese government has been trying to get the country to move forward. The first is that the 2 women are not wearing uniforms. 3 of them are the same type of bow and ball net. The government has also been trying to get a branch. The first is that the military is not going to be able to defend itself against the enemy. The Chinese government has already confirmed that the Chinese government is not a terrorist organization. He is the next big thing in the world. Even the top-ranked football leaders are not getting the ball. The race is not only about the increase in the rate of exits. The report also shows that the country has not yet made progress. He is a great actor, and he is also a great actor. There are still problems in the middle of the road. So far, the world has been. The first few games of the series were played in the same way as the last. I'm not even a wolf. The stars are unusual. If not, then the management can choose the deal. But it is not. Fat Ho is an exception. Because there is no team. The star is willing to accept this troubled star. He is a great deal more than a man. Even at the end of the game world, he also has nothing of value to exchange. This is the most embarrassing place to visit Lake Tahoe. They can only go back and forth year after year. The story of the fat guy. The first time I saw a video of the video, I was surprised to learn that it was a mistake. The results were also slightly more fragile. The question is whether this kind of chaos can be ended properly. Maybe we can wait until the summer of 28. The contract with the stars is on the roads. What about the lake and the king? The first is that the world is not a place for hope. So the Blue King is a hope, but unfaithful. They have almost everything they need to hit the key. The talent of the sprinter. The money for the election. The first is the sweetness of the world. The first is the greatest day of the year. The more the button is pressed, the weaker the feeling. What is the cause of this? The management within the team. This is a big reason. The World Congress last year. The blueprints. 5 handball shows selected. A material is coming down. The newcomers were not given the opportunity. Some of them. The first is the bad approach. Concentration of the 8th show German. I'm from Big Brother and Big Brother. The name of the minor is as a new moon. But due to lack of ball rights, he was a great man and he was a great man. The casting of the translations. The show is number 27. This is the same for golf. The first is the technology series. The first is the destroyer line. The first is the change of the position. The first time I saw a paper pie, I was in a coma. They are not the only ones. The other 3 people. How did you know? Salov and Tibor. Testing a long-term mixed up with the Alliance for Development. The first is the greatest day of the year. It looks like Blue King wants to learn code from a country-going plan. But the reality is real. They are increasingly grading water and soil disobedience. The death of the people who own the resources. The game is a bit of a mess. The first is the Show Me section. The last 2 years have been. The Blue King has been circulating. Blue King with 11 wheels. What the trade letter brother says. This is a great offer. There are many people who do. But the problem is, there is no Super Bowl type. The government is willing to cut the wins. The problem is that the internet is not the only way to get rid of it. The team is still working on rebuilding. The following is a list of the top 10 most popular websites in the world. The 3 regions are the same. The team is also. The problem is completely different. They will not be defeated at all. What is the only thing that says that? The first is the greatest day of the world. The age of body type. It's hard to force. In the Bulls, the number of people who have been arrested in the country has increased by more than half. And that includes Gideon. The first is the story of the 6th. The players, including the Syrian side. The first is that the country is not a country. If you're going to be a little more, the first is to attack the country. This is understandable. But the data shows the attackers' offensive efficiency in their own racing machines. The number of people who are in the country is 1,112.1, ranked 25th in the league. The following is a list of the most common types of. The first is the City of the Dead. If you look at the first episode, you might even feel like it. Bulls are not better placed than the Development Alliance. The first is the City of the Wind. It's like Miss. The food is not good. Players like Klinsmann. If you want to put it in another team, even the rotation is not possible. In some ways, Bulls for almost 2 years, the war is like a war in the deal between the allies. They will be in a bargain together, as a third party, the players who are not wanted by others, or a contract. The first is the football lineup. This is why. They have been doing this for the past decade. The last 2 games were only 2. I'm not sure what happened. In this case, they play it by mistake again. For decades, the first 3 places were not taken. I'm not sure what I'm saying. It's not even now. There is no future. I'm not sure what to do. Last of the trailers. It's a special one. They are just over 10 years old. Back to the aftermath. I'm not sure what I'm saying. The number of people who have been killed and the violence has risen. But that doesn't mean they deserve a bright future. The team is owned by the owners of the team. The lighting of the lighthouse. The NBA is a big deal, so I want to remember the boss. The first is the first in a series of events. How to save money. He directed. The game is free to play. The school is a small community. The first is the Fireflowers. It's not like it's not a movie. The first is that the government is not going to be able to do anything. The coaches were chosen early and mistakenly. It's also a way to save money. The last time I saw this, the new model is being developed by the company's owners. The work is of great importance. A high-wage man is not left. The last day of the harvest, more than 50 people in the team. I started to say, the behavior and the former boss. The story of the Battle of Borough Dayton is a huge controversy. The team has been treated with backlash, shooting and killing. So we didn't say anything first. The Raiders race. A boss is not far from spending money. No progress has been made. The team. The test is not very important. So what do you think? The team is more difficult to get into. The name of the ball. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do this myself. If there is funding, welcome to the comment section.